Hey, Pixies. My name is Pixel, and I'm joined with a few people in my Discord server. Sorry if you can hear me, but I'm just gonna come back to Naruto. Ooh, okay. This is
Pixel, your microphone's like really loud, and I could hear the keyboard.
Yeah, I realized that. I don't know how to stop that from happening. Yeah, that's... Oh well. Talk about whatever we... wrong book. Just edit. So... just editing Naruto. Ooh. I keep messing up. This is not a great edit. This sucks. I can work with it. Let's go with this. It's supposed to be like... So who suggested this? Let's do this. Guess just new work Naruto like this. I shouldn't be switching back between Discord and Amplify. tried doing this last week and then it completely failed on us. So, trying again this week. Just edit this. What is this? Is his throwing knife. That he has in his hand. Very quiet. This is all one, this is two. This is two colors. And first line, I guess.
Unfortunately, I have to go do something, so I'll probably be back later.
Okay, I don't know if it's gonna let you join back later since I'm streaming, but if it does,
Probably gonna take like 20 minutes, I would say, probably.
yeah, okay, that's fine. See you later then.
Alright, bye.
Bye. That's supposed to be there. Okay. It's 3 shades. This could be a light gray then. Just come up like this. It look good. No. This area over here looks awkward. This hand that is. Ooh, that's too close. I need to figure out how to edit this hand. This is very all over the place. The blocks and how it converted. So, trying my best to really edit this. And I could use the bucket tool. Just bucket everything rather than individually using the pencil. And going like this the entire time over the pink concrete over there. Oops. So I did a poll on my Discord server and a lot of people want Naruto, so here I am. Naruto. sure I'll come to like the hand when it's actually finished. But for right now, it's not completely done. I mean, hands are not that difficult to edit. Wait, there isn't any picture? Wait, what do you mean? Wait. There isn't any picture. I don't know. There's a picture for... Is that background or is that... No, that's background. This bit of white here is background. Okay. Um, I do realize my keyboard is loud. I am sorry. That's probably the best we're gonna go with that little area. I had to improvise a bit on that, but if it works, right? I might change it later and just stick with the line. Oh, hold on a sec. Hold on, let me... Hold on. Don't know if you guys can see anything. Oh, sorry. Is there anything there, or is it just a black screen? Again, I apologize for if you guys can hear my keyboard. trying something slightly different with Discord. Let's work on the hand though. Let's do this. I guess I could work on some bit of the shading in the hand. Over here. And then move on with the outline since I'm already over here. Just work on like the shading. Just wanna know, can you guys hear my voice? Is it a little too quiet? With some, where is it? White concrete. I've had a few pixel arts where I have to incorporate this white like highlight in the hand. I'm gonna leave those pink bits for the sand rather than, actually I'll incorporate some of these into white, but not all of it. So, oop, I don't want to go over the outline. Do a little more shading up here. There we go. I've also had pixel arts where I have to have like 5 different shading for the skin. In which case I use sand, birch, oak, and spruce if needed. Sometimes jungle. I don't really use jungle in pixel arts. This video is more how I do things and just edit for fun kind of deal. So, if you're someone who wants to know how to do what I do, feel free to follow along. But I have more in depth on my Mikasa editing stream, and that's it. I don't have another one where I actually go in depth with how I edit. It's up like this. So, but after this Monday, probably not gonna do any more editing streams because I have a lot of these I'm just gonna hop right into part 1 of the tutorials. Okay, I was just making sure if this was background or part of it, but this blue area here is background. The only blue in this pixel are his eyes. So, someone leave? No. I think someone joined. Yeah, I'm on a Discord call with some friends of mine on Discord. So, if you hear any of that, it's Discord. Little ding sound, that is Discord. I'm in a party with some guys. But we're going to continue just doing this, not worry about what's going on in Discord that much. It's not going to be like that. Are you going to? Let's get all the way over there. Let's get the gray out. I typically do not edit from this PC. I usually edit from my monitor, which is next to me, not from this side. So a lot of the blocks are rearranged. So I'm trying to get used to where everything is, more or less. Got the smaller screen. Daily. Yeah. If someone does join back in, I'll join the Discord call again. But someone did just leave. So, I'm really sorry if you could hear my keyboard when I'm typing in Discord. My keyboard's just loud. So, I do apologize for that. I tried doing this last week with my Nami build, but Discord wanted to be stupid. I think. Yeah, let's make that all sand. So, I typically use sand and birch as my main blocks for skin tone, especially for anime characters, but in some cases, like Iruka Sensei from Naruto, I would probably use, or if they're in a very dark, or the area they're in is not well lit, making their skin appear darker, I use oak and spruce, or I use birch as the light skin tone and use oak as the main shade block. But it really depends on the setting. If it's a super dark, either a dark skin tone like Haruka, it's a bit darker in tone than Naruto and the other characters of Naruto. I would use oak as the main and use jungle as the shade. So it really depends on skin tone and how dark or light the character is in terms of either where they are located. Like one of my Levi builds, what was I gonna say? I used oak as the main, or actually no, I used birch as the light block. I need to find Levi. The second Levi I did. Yeah, I used birch for the lightest. Well, actually, I used sand for the lightest part, but I used birch for the majority of his face. So, when choosing blocks for a certain skin tone, keep in mind of not only if the image you chose makes the character's skin look darker or lighter, also keep in mind if the character is naturally a darker skinned, well, not darker, or just a darker shade. So there are some things to consider when making pixel art, because Naruto is the typical or the more average skin tone. I'm using sand and birch, my classic go-tos. So I think I'm working on the jacket now of Naruto. This is a bit too close to my liking, so I'm gonna push it back out like this. And take our gray concrete and just is that supposed to be a, yeah, yes it is. There's supposed to be a little line there. And then there's this little like line here with our gray terracotta that we can follow for the most part. So you see how this line is a bit broken up. I could very well improvise it and connect it like this and make my own line, which is what I'm doing now. So we can. This is, I believe, his what's the throwing knife called? I forget what the throwing knife is called, but it's not a sai. I know that kunai. Is it a kunai knife? Might be called a kunai knife, whatever it's called. That is what we were just working on, but now we've got to separate the knife from the rest of his outfit. So sometimes there is a clear line being shown, and sometimes you kind of gotta make up yourself where that fine line is, or where that line between that and that is, or where this and this is. At some point you kind of just run into the edge there, and then there's just a clear line. Wait, is that hair? Is that, oh no, that is part of his, in fairness, I have no idea why his hair is the same shade as his hair, like why those are, because his hair is so much more yellow than his jacket. They should not be the same block. So sometimes Netlify does that, but that is where you go in and make your decision. So I'm not going to keep this yellow block for this part of the jacket. I'm going to change it to orange concrete. And sometimes the other side I use removed.bg, which removes background from places. Doesn't get rid of the background completely. And if it does that, you're gonna have to manually get rid of it. But you should do that after you have an outline going. Let's do this. That way it's much easier to see where that line is, especially when the background kind of blends in with where the separation, if the background is very similar to the outline, then you gotta make a decision yourself about where that line sits. So here I'm just separating where his knife and where his jacket, and like the separation between the two. Here we're starting to bring it more up. So if there's an area that's super black, I use black concrete, but for an area that is a light black, or just I use black concrete powder. So it really depends on preference. This area here, because it's gray-ish, I'm gonna stick with I think that's supposed to be okay. That is supposed to be a little line here. Okay, I was right. So I basically just trace the outline and then color in according to the reference image that I use. This area here, I believe, it's gonna be the lighter shade of the grays on his jacket. And there's an area here which needs to be outlined and colored in with black. Usually I do the main outline first, so I do everything on this outer line here. And then I come in and do inner details, but for the sake of this, because of convenience sake, I'm gonna do it this way. And come in with our blocks, like colors, and do this now instead of waiting later. Here, much like Nami, I am using orange concrete and orange terracotta for the orange parts of his jacket. So, if you want to see any of my other streams, they are up on my YouTube page. Which my YouTube is Pixel DiCaprio. So if you want to check it out, you can. Let's see. This has a bit of a split between dark and light. So we're going to get that split going. And then there's this area here, which we're actually going to, we're going to keep that there. I was going to say, bring that down, but that's fine. That's fine. It's gonna get rid of that outline bit there. And this right here is going to be our lightest shade of gray. So these do have similar colors to that of the knife, which is why I'm using some of the same blocks. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what we do now. I guess we can come over here and do this orange bit. And then do the orange of his jacket on this side. Go over here. And sometimes you gotta figure out if you want. See, like you see, I'm not going over those oak and jungle planks there. That's because I'm choosing to make those concrete rather than terracotta. Because I just didn't. It's also because I felt that was better suited for the concrete versus terracotta. And obviously, if someone else is doing it, they may decide, oh, okay, let's go over those wood and make the shading bigger. You don't have to follow what I'm doing exactly. You don't have to do what I do. You decide the outline and then you color in accordingly. It really does not matter how you shade or how you make your pixel arts, as long as you have somewhat of a basic way to do it. You should try to keep your pixel arts consistent in how you make them, but for the sake of this stream, I am not being consistent. I am doing something slightly different than what I usually do, and that is which is working inside and then going out, working out. So starting from the basic outline, I'm working with inner details beforehand. I actually get to moving on to the rest of outlining the hair and all that. Do I want, is there a line there? There's actually, these lines don't exist here, so I'm going to go back in with my cyan and get rid of these little bits here. And it is okay if you go over the line a little bit. Just know that you are going to have to replace that later. You just need to make sure you go over it again to make it the outline. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make that our light gray block. And there's this bit of a, I want to call this, there's this inner line here that kind of goes out into this. That's kind of broken up, so I'm going to stay true to that little bit of black that is in this outline, but most of it is, there is a somewhat of an outline, like I could outline this gray, which I am going to do because there is a bit of this line there. And then this line here is cyan, and then there's a bit of lighter gray in these areas. And then it's really your choice in forms of blocks. You do not have to use concrete for your outline. Some people use coal, some people use wool. Some people use a mix of concrete, wool, and other blocks. It really doesn't matter how you make your stuff. It really does not matter. If you wish to do it how I do it and use concrete for your outline, you can. I'm not saying this is how you should do it. This is just how I do it. I'm not going to bring the line all the way up because it doesn't need to go all the way up. So here, you need to make a bit of a finer line between the darker gray versus like you need to figure out where this line separates. Like where you're gonna make areas darker, where you're gonna make areas lighter gray. And once you decide that, you can come in and just start coloring it in. So, how you decide to make your pixel art does not matter. I personally choose to do it this way because that's kind of how I've always done pixel art. When it comes to when I first started editing, I kind of just did it this way. And I liked how I was doing it, so I just stuck with it. If you find a style that works for you, you can. It is your style. My style of pixel art, even though it is still pixel art, is slightly different than someone else's. Like, I'm gonna pull out some YouTubers I like who are also pixel artists. which are Felix Gorman and Phoenix Death Gaming. While both of them do make pixel arts, their styles are different, even though it's the same premise. It's because they have a different way of making their pixel arts. Phoenix Death Gaming does more anime styles like me, but our styles are completely different. Because he might have a slightly different... If I were to make a pixel art using an image that he used, it's probably going to turn out a tad bit different. Because I might see something in my version I think could be there. Something that he hasn't done. Like, for example, if there's a line that I find works better or a block I find works better, I'm going to use it. I have done Hinata similar to that of Felix Guaman's, and it turned out different because I used different blocks. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to keep saying this. How you choose to make pixel arts is yours. Whatever you do, you get to make it yours. What I do, I've made it mine. Someone who could do the exact same way of doing it as them, they still have their own style to it. They could choose video game characters over anime characters. Or maybe they choose to do realistic, hyper-realistic ones like I used to do as their pixel arts. That in its own is a different style than that of what I do, where I edit it down instead of going the hyper-realistic route. Not only is hyper-realistic hard to follow sometimes. Is there a black line there? No. There's a... because hyper-realistic is basically essentially the hardest pixel thing to do because there's so many blocks, and some blocks are very close in shade to each other, so you gotta keep that in mind when doing hyper-realistic. I know people who do hyper-realistic and they turn out good. They do turn out amazing. It makes it look like you didn't even build it. And some people don't even actually build their pixel arts. They use commands and stuff like that. And I find that people who use commands don't really have talent or don't seem like they are actually accomplishing anything. Like, the people who actually sit down and edit pixel arts and then physically hand build it are the ones with the true talent. And then there's the people who just paste it in and say it's theirs, say they hand built it or something like that. And that's just not true. And I'm not saying that you can't, like, I could convert this to commands up here and just convert it to commands, just paste it in my world, but that I feel like I'm not actually doing anything. I'm not putting in time, effort. It's not mine. Because it just wouldn't look right. Not that it wouldn't look right, it just wouldn't be the same. And I do, like, I respect the people who sit down and just edit pixel arts like I'm doing here. Like, it takes a lot of time. Pixel arts take hours if not days, to edit and then build. Like, editing for me takes 2 to 3 hours. And for someone to sit down and just sit there editing a pixel art, that is dedication, that is persistence, you wanting to get it done. Like, when it's built, it's amazing. I'm gonna step back from doing this outline, and now that we have this done, we can get working on this little bit of orange. But yeah, those who use commands, I feel like they're cheating everyone, because people are gonna think they built it when they didn't, or their first instinct is gonna be they didn't build it, and then when someone says they didn't build it, they're gonna be like, no, I did. And that's just not, you didn't spend the time, you didn't spend the hours building it, you just spent 2 minutes you just spent 2 minutes just not doing anything, just clicking buttons and then converting it to commands and pasting it into your world. And then one of the reasons I'm doing streams to begin with is to show people that, or is to show them how I edit. That was one of the main reasons why I started Twitch, was to show people how I edit. But the reason I'm thinking about just stopping doing this all why does that go? That's orange glazed terracotta, but it goes to this like ugly green color whenever I zoom in. Oh well. See, right now, I have his hand done, his like knife thing done, and the bottom part of his jacket done. And just looking at it, doesn't that look so much nicer to look at than that of his hair? This like orange bit in his hair, that's just a mismatch of blocks. Like, you can see the blocks, even in his face, you can see the different blocks almost. So, sorry if you heard that. That was me kicking something under my desk. Let's do this little bit of shading here. This black shading. So I was saying that I really do like respect people who just sit down and edit pixel art like I do. Like, it really is a work of art when you sit down and edit and build it, rather than sitting down, clicking a few buttons, converting image once you've chosen an image, and then just simply pasting it in your world. And it's just, I looked up videos on how to get pixel art into your world, and all they say to do is just paste it into your world. And the tutorial is how do I paste a pixel art into a world. And that really changed. I want to build a pixel art. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to sit down, build my pixel art. I don't even want to paste it in. I just want to build it. I want to build my pixel art instead of pasting it in. Looks like we're getting a bit into the face shading here. We're gonna lay back on face shading for now. We're not face shading, face outlining. That's what I mean. I mean his mouth is right there. But I just want to. Is that a zipper? Oh, this is a zipper. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna get rid of this little bit of background here. Zippers are a pain in the butt, honestly, because they never seem to make it look right. So I'm going to do this. I think this is cyan. Let's see if that zipper look. It looks alright. I don't know how much I like that. I guess I'll see when I actually get there. But all I'm saying is about people who paste it in, I feel like they aren't getting anything out of it. They're not really, it's not really theirs. They didn't build it. They just used somebody else's image to build it. That's not pixel art. That's not, no. It is pixel art, but it's just not. It's not what you expect. Like, they didn't really put in the effort to build it. They didn't. Like, this is coming from someone who used to do that kind of pixel art. But the reason I stopped is because they were not only taking forever, but just it takes forever to do, but it also blocks are very similar to each other. Like, all these blocks, you're constantly switching. Your inventory is full. Your inventory, even your inventory, 36. Your HUD bar, which is 9, plus the 27 in your inventory, is not enough to hold all the blocks you need for it. And I didn't want to constantly switch between 5 million blocks just to get a pixel art. I started editing, but I started editing after I saw a bunch of other people editing and showing their stuff. So, and it was Felix Guaman who really got me into editing, because Felix, he doesn't use a generator, he uses Photoshop. It's almost the same thing. He takes a image, puts it through Photoshop, converts it to pixels, and then takes those pixels to make his pixel arts that he makes. I'll link his channel in the description. So I'll definitely also link Phoenix Death Gaming's channel, because both of them are awesome creators and deserve a bigger fan base, because they're so underrated. Because they make awesome pixel arts and they're only getting like 100 views a video when they have like 100,000 people subscribed to them. So they do deserve a bit of, I want to say love, but so I thought that would sound weird if I say that. They deserve more credit than people want to give them. No, let me change that. People who do pixel arts deserve a lot more credit than people are willing to give them. It's getting really hard to see where my pixel art, where like my lines are. But sometimes I even miss blocks because they're so similar to that of that I'm outlining with. So, as long as I get most of it, I am fine. So, I will do a future stream where I showcase a realm I'm in, because it's full of amazing people and full of amazing pixel arts and builds and plushies. By plushies, I mean, you know, the best thing we can get, 2 plushies in Minecraft. So, if you would like me to showcase my realm, or not my realm, a realm I'm in, also known as Creative Craft, I will do so, because it is amazing. Like, it's very filled. Like, a lot of people in there are fairly talented. And by fairly talented, I mean, like, it is. Like, a lot of the people in that server are very talented, not only builders, but pixel artists. And they make amazing things, whether it is from a tutorial or from something they've made personally. A lot of the pixel arts I've done in there, yes, are tutorials, but a lot of them are also my own builds. Even if they are from tutorials, they are amazing. Like, I kid you not, they are awesome. Which is why I kind of want to do a showcase where I showcase the realm just to show you what things people have in that world and reasons you should join. Though you might have to get invited in by the owner. I am not the only owner, I'm only a moderator on there, or operator. But I do have 530 hours in it. So, I've been in there quite a while. But the only reason I have so many is because the hour counter was being stupid at one point and it stopped recording how long you've been in there. So I got time added in compensation for it working, and then it suddenly not working. So by the time we got it working again, I'd already been in there for at least 100 more hours. But so maybe 200. But all I'm saying is I have been in there a lot. And whenever the owner's gone, he leaves me in general, like in charge of the world. Because he has that level of trust in me. The only reason he puts that trust in me is because I have the most hours. I'm not the first person he allowed into that world, but I was definitely one of the first when he made a new one because his old account got banned. I definitely want to showcase that world because it's awesome. If you guys want that though, I will gladly add it into my streams. Or add it into, make it one of my set streams. Oh, this area here is a bit not exactly a fun thing to edit. And I know I said I wouldn't work on. Wait, is that shading? Wait, no. Oh, wait, that's supposed to be shading. That's not supposed to be. Yeah, this is shading. Because this is the jacket outline which goes into the face. Okay. That's why. Okay. Now I get it. Is that? Oh no, that is that little thing he has on his jacket. Let's do this. But yeah, I will definitely add a showcase of that realm into my future streams. Don't really know what block I'd use for that area over there. That's like quartz, netherrack, pink clay, and all these blocks here. I might use oak, I may not. I know one of my friends from Discord made a corpse pixel art. I'm running out of ideas to talk about. Or things to talk about, not ideas, more or less. I guess if I have nothing to talk about, I'm running out of ideas to talk about. Let's do this. This area, okay. I'll try to. I mean, I'm not gonna do this like editing stream anymore after this week because I feel like I have enough of these. If you'd like me to continue, do let me know. If not, next Monday I'm gonna hop right into part 1 of a pixel art. Whether it be Endeavor, Armin, or Sasuke. So, if you want me to do a specific character, I will be posting a poll on Discord, as well as maybe Instagram. Possibly Instagram. I may not actually do one on Instagram. So this area here appears to be a very dark-ish thing, so I might use brown terracotta. That's supposed to be black, not like gray. Black. Where is this bit of... That's pink hardened clay. I need red hardened clay. And then I need pink hardened clay. Because there's that little like red button thing. So maybe I'll use brown and gray terracotta for this area over here. Let's do this. So I am going to... Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to... I think this is the outline. Yeah, those ice aren't actually meant to be there. Let's do this. I am working on this bit of like swirly swirl thing going on here. Get on here with this swirly swirl. Just giant swirl. What's going on in his jacket thing that he has on his arm? Don't know what that is called, but that is like that thing. Gonna have to see whether this looks good. Where is this gray? do is let's connect that to that. Let's defeat this. This is editing. Let's see. Doing the shading in this bit of his jacket slash arm thing slash whatever this is supposed to be. Really coming out here with the shading. Some lines are gonna have to be doubled like that. Let's see, I'm trying to, areas that have a darker hue are gonna get shade like that. Everywhere else is going to get white. Where's white? Where is it? Right there. Trying to come up with blocks like how I'm doing here is probably one of the easier things to do when it comes to editing pixel art, because you can just look at your reference image. You also can tell what blocks are around it and just pick a block. Just we are, oh, did not mean to get rid of that outline. Oh, where's the white? Where is it? It's right there. Let's do that. I think that looks okay for what it is. Some areas do look bigger in some areas. Yes, I realize that some areas are doubled like that, and that is due to how it converted. Let's do this. There's this little bit of a button or something here. Now we're gonna get our blocks out. There's a bit of a, we're gonna have to, there's a bit of a shade differential here. So we are going to come in like this. And now we can color this in. Is that gray? It's okay, this is a gray hard clay or terracotta as it's called. The only downside to Netlify and what I do is it only goes to 1.12. But I'm fine with that, because a lot of the blocks I use in pixel art anyway, I only use from the 1.12 areas. I never really ever use the 1.13 blocks or any of the blocks from a newer update. So I don't really need. There's a bit of a slightly lighter shade here that I'm going to use with light gray terracotta, and then it looks alright for what it is. Obviously it's not perfect, it's not going to be perfect, I'm just gonna have to accept that it can't be perfect. If you hear little bloops or dings, it's probably Discord because I have it on open in the background. So don't mind that if you hear it. I don't think you guys can hear it, but if you do, I do apologize. If you actually go over something that's not meant to be black, you can always go back over it with the block it's meant to be. This. Is most of it? No, it's not most of it. There we go. Now we got most of it with the bucket tool. I use the bucket tool because it fills in large areas. Like if it's a large area of gray wool, whatever block is in your hand over here, you see that there's a little square with the block I'm using. What was I gonna say? See, this is the part where I start running out of ideas on what to say and what to talk about. I realize you can't see what I'm doing with the black concrete, but there is, from what on my computer, I can see that there's black wool standing out where it's not supposed to be, so I'm just going over that with black concrete. So even if you can't see it, I can. So yeah, just go with this. So yeah, if you cannot see some of the stuff I'm doing, it's probably because I'm not zoomed in enough for you guys to actually know what it is I'm doing. But you can mostly see what I'm doing. This is, I believe that is his jacket done. Let's see. Well, let's work with the main outline first, and then continue working with inner details. I am a bit too close to what I'm comfortable working with, so I'm just going to, that was too far of a zoom out, so I'm going to come this close, or this far out, this close, whatever. So this is his little headband that he's wearing. It shows that he is a true ninja of that of Konohagakure village. So as I said before, you do not have to completely follow how I make pixel arts. Make it however way you feel comfortable with. If you don't want to edit at all, that is fine too. It also just builds your pixel art straight on, like with all the mixed matchy blocks. And if you're wondering the height I make all my pixel arts at, I always make it the height 252. Even if in the end the pixel art is actually maybe 2 blocks shorter because of how I edit. It does not matter if the top of the character does not hit 256 or 252, but I still make it. Most of my pixel arts do hit 252, or the top of the character does hit height limit, which is 256 in game, but because I'm 4 blocks off the ground, I do 252 as my height in Netlify. So, and I always do the height to 252, but the width really depends on the height. So whatever the height is really determines where anything else is. I'm going to go to our, whatever that block is, the block I just used to erase all that. It's called basically it has no name. It really does not have a name. But it's basically your erase tool. No. It is your erase tool, basically. And I'm just getting rid of all of these little blue areas here because you do not need it. Here we are. I'm just, with my black, I am focused on getting the other side of this done. Of this part of his headband, this ribbon thing that hangs off. Let's see, we're almost at the top. I would get rid of the blue now, but I'm not quite done with this outline. And I do go over some of the blue if I find I have to, but if I don't have to, I don't. But I only go over it if it's necessary, but if it's not, I just ignore it. Now go back to my erase tool. And just erase all this blue. I think it removed .bg because that is technically part of the background. So I'm trying to be really careful here as to not go over any of the black. I try to get as close, like, not go over any of my lines. So right now this is what it looks like. You can see the areas that I've already edited and what I did. You see how it looks so much nicer. I need to figure out what I'm doing for the shading in the headband, like where it hits the, because there's two different gray blocks. Maybe I'll do wool and concrete since they're slightly different in forms of shading. I am right now just working with hair. I'm trying to, when I said the shading in the headband, I meant the shading over here. This shading here. I don't want to make it, so maybe I'll make it concrete. And make the rest of it wool. Since they do have a slight difference in shading. Let's that's what I mean. Do I use gray concrete for here? I would use gray wool too. Let's see what it looks like with both gray and gray wool. Oh, there is a bit of area here. Okay, there is a bit of gray, like light gray here. At least in that part of the headband. If I get in close, you can kind of see it'll look more prominent in game. But with Netlify, it's really hard to tell, which is why I just try or go to concrete powder for Netlify. I'm going to do a little bit in game of some of like little, I don't know what they're called. I think they're like little whiskers on his face. I'm gonna make those black blocks there because I went over with sand because that's ultimately what I'm gonna use for, you know, his face since I used it for his hands. Yes. So I just did the ear or the inner ear details. Oh wait, is that, that's his eyebrow, isn't it? Yes it is. Okay. I'm just gonna continue as if I totally knew that that was. as part of the eyebrow. So let's get this side of the face done that way. It looks like his face is finished. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's erase that. Bring that back. You can always do some fine tweaking along the way. Like you might decide you finish it and then don't like it later. Or like you get done editing and you decide, maybe this would look better for here. We can work on the mouth a bit. Mouth looks a bit awkward right now, but we can work with that later. That is his nose done. Nose, mouth. Really, all that's left to do in his face is get his eyes done. And his eyebrows done. Eyebrows. Oh, his eye. Let's get this going. Let's get his pupil in there. The only thing is from here really is to figure out eye color. I know it's blue, but like what blocks I use for it. First, I'm going to get my blocks I know exist in there. And get the whites of his eyes in. Let's get that black back. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up my reference picture. Let's see what's going on. Let's do this and then make the rest of it this dark blue. Like that. Does the eye look good? It might be a bit dark, but I think that's the best we're going to get. I think cyan would be too much of a sky blue. Would not be the right color at all. Let's do this. I keep saying let's do this. Let's do this every time I don't know what to say. It's because I don't know what to say. gonna count for right here too. Goes here. I think that's supposed to be the brighter. Yeah, that's supposed to. Oh, this is supposed to have some level of shading in it. Sorry if you hear background noise. I guess we could work on a little bit of some inner details while we're here, since we've already started doing it. Okay, this is shading, this is hair. That's good, alright. Wait, no, it's supposed to be yellow, not orange. Right. I just did Nami last week, so I should have realized that was... Okay, there is a bit of shading outside the ear here. Okay, there we go. That is looking nicer, but still not quite what we're looking for yet. Let's get some shading in. And going over the line is okay. So you can just put that back with that. And we can move on. Let me just see. Let's use light gray for... a little bit of this light grayness in the headband. I know I was just doing the hair, then I skip over to doing... Let's come back all the way over here and switch to our cyan clay. Do this, like this. This. I'm going to put that light gray back like that. And just... and then the rest of it can be the gray. Oh, wrong block. There we go. We don't want blue where there's not supposed to be blue. The only blue we want is in his eyes. Touch up. At this point, I'm just touching up little areas that we did not quite get with the bucket tool. Is that in black? Or is that going to be our, no, it's going to be our gray wool. And make the area down here our gray concrete. I know right now it looks like I haven't done anything to his hair, or like doesn't look like I've actually changed anything about it, like anything about this little band here. Let's get this going like this. I'm gonna bring that out like that. That way it looks slightly better. I just need to touch up. I can't use the bucket tool here because areas aren't big enough for a bucket tool. But and now you can kind of see the change in his hair shading, that is. Like this. We're gonna have to figure out how to do that and stuff. And as soon as we figure out that, we can get to actually working on the inside of it. Let's get this going. I'm just marking that line out when we actually get to that point in time. There's a bit of, okay, there's a bit of a line in his hair here. So now we're just going to follow this area here. See, now we're at the outline. You can clearly see the outline. So sometimes it's going to be really hard to see a line and you might have to come up with your own, or if it's a broken up line, you can either keep it broken up or you can just improvise and make it your own, like I did with his knife at the very beginning. Almost at the top now. We're connecting it. Now we can move on to this area over here. And now his hair is almost done. We just got to do the little shading bits here, his eye, and touch up his face. And since we're over here, we might as well get this over with as well. This little bit of face shading here going. So what you can do is you could either do an outline and then color it in, or you can do what I'm doing and just hopping right into coloring it in and marking that outline. Where is the white? Oh, it's right there. Does that look good? Okay, I'm getting used to that mouth there. The zipper piece is alright. Not horrible. Let's get this eye going. I think that's supposed to be shading. I don't know what happened over there, but I'm sure we can figure something else. If anything, can always go back in time to when we started this. Oh, I can only go back in time, so I thought we could only go back in time so much. But it's just this lagging up. And now we can start over on this. So you can always, if you on a PC, you can do Control Z and it gets rid of all that. This eye looks awkward. That's only the, this is only the, oh, I get this now. This is only the, sorry, went quiet there. That area should be shading. Now we can get work on the light part of this. Like this. And now we have here his eye. Okay, so almost done. You just gotta do this bit of the whites of his eye. I think we deserve a little extra more. We're gonna bring out our snow again, do this. Is that better? Yeah, that eye looks better now. Need to do the eyebrow now, though. Fortunately, this is going to be probably the worst eyebrow I've done. Where is it? There. I'm gonna just do that. And with my yellow concrete, not my yellow concrete, terracotta, I mean terracotta. Don't know if I like that so much. Oh well. It's the best we're gonna get. Let's get our birch and we do this. And we get this area here. Let's get this bit of shade in his face. There we go, his face is almost done. Is that a bit of white on his face? Yes it is, there's just a little bit. White on his face. Not the bucket tool, I want that. There's a little white speck on his face over here as a little highlight. Now we gotta touch up his face, get rid of all these little excess blocks. And I know I could have just simply used white terracotta for his face, but I feel like white terracotta is a bit too pinkish for me, which is why I go with sand. Obviously, if you like pink terracotta for the face, I only have a few pixel arts in my PC world that have white terracotta as the face. That's only because it wasn't mine, it was someone else's. Someone else made Miss Main from Death Note. I did two, but I used different blocks. We used the same image, but used way different blocks, so it turned out different, so it wasn't an exact copy. I think the only... oh, we got the headband. I was gonna say, I think the only thing we have left to do is his hair. I keep saying her hair, not his hair. I was gonna say, the last thing I have to do is his headband. Or is his hair, then I realize we have his headband to do. There we go. I think that looks a tad bit better than it did before. If I zoom out. Yeah, okay, that looks so much better now. Now what we're going to do is we have to outline this headband that he's wearing, his Hatake. It does start covering around here. There is a little bit of lines here. It is in his hair. But other than that, it's fine. Gonna make let's see, we're going to do we're going to do gray concrete for the shading in his headband, as well as the shading for underneath his hair. Do this. Let's get our gray wool out. Obviously, hopefully this shows up better in the game than it does on Netlify. That is his headband almost complete. We just really got the little bit of little buttons on his thing. Headband. Is there two bits of white in his? Guess there are. Usually there's only one when I do Naruto characters. Because with Kakashi there's only one, and when I was doing let's get that out, and we just start going, not going crazy with it, but getting everything on this side. guess I'll do a little bit of this kind of. I'm gonna change up some of these just slightly so it's not exactly the same. This is on a smaller scale, so this is gonna look a little weird. So I'm trying to work with it. What I got. Let's get that cyan out. Like this. I guess at this point I could probably talk about reuse. Why do I always go to the bucket tool? And I mean to go to the pencil. Just use one here, or I could use concrete powder like I almost always do. I think for what we got, this leaf logo does not look that bad. Because Konoha is the village hidden in the leaves. Okay, this is grayable, or the lighter gray, is what I mean. We are close to being done. We just got the hair left and we are done. I was gonna say we are done now. We are very much not done. There we go. All we got left to do now is just simply his hair. I'm just following this line here. Sorry if I'm going quiet all of a sudden. Oh wait, this is supposed to be with this yellow. Not with the... Okay, never mind. I have to go over all of this with the yellow terracotta, not the orange terracotta. That's my bad. And now we can continue where we left off. Forgot his hair's yellow. Why am I going to orange terracotta for the shading in his hair? I don't know. bucket tool it in, and bucket tool the other area in, and just go about touching it up. Let's see. Touching it up. There's not really much to do at this point except touch up everything we missed with the bucket tool, since the bucket tool can't get everything. The hair is all we have left to do. Hopefully the gray wool concrete is going to have a big difference in game. Now we're switching over to our concrete block and flying it in this way. And now I like that better. Just add a little something like that. We can come to a better point. Not much to do. Oh, I did not notice there was gold blocks in this at all. You know, super cool. I think that was like the only gold block in this entire thing. Oh yeah, we also have the other, oh wait, we have the other bits of the headbands to do. That is, yeah, we still have the other headband to do. I forgot about that piece. Let's get the white and get this bit of highlight in. Now we can just basically copy the light bit is light gray. Like this. This is the one time I'll use linked blocks like this. But other than that, it's just whatever. I'd rather not use that. Get rid of that block there, see if it makes a difference later. Because sometimes getting rid of that one extra block or adding a block is going to make a difference later. wrong place. I put it one too high. There we go. We are now done. Officially done now. With this. This looks, I mean, maybe I'll make this slightly darker, make this all cyan instead. Where's cyan? Like this instead so it matches better. Let's see. That's not all of it. I think that looks better, a little bit better. Yeah. Yes. This looks good. One thing I don't really like is the leaf logo, but that's because it's so tiny. So this eye over here looks a bit awkward, but I'm gonna have to work with it. But all in all, this does look good. I'm going to save it. So you go up here to save as, and you now have a schematic downloaded. So I hope you enjoyed this stream. If you did enjoy it, you can join me on my Wednesday stream where I do part 1 of the tutorial on Naruto. And I think it's the first time a tutorial is going to be done with Naruto holding a knife. Anyway, I'll see you guys Wednesday at most likely noon. I'll see you then. Bye.